Hi there, and welcome to week 4 of Around the OrkneyBowl. It's been an emotional week for some. There's been a few undefeated teams no longer undefeated, and there's a couple of non-win teams have won teams, and there's been one cracker of a game, which we'll see if you notice when we come through to it. Welcome, Craig. How's it going?
Good evening, Johnny. Well, I have to say that after the fantasy weekend I've had, I was driving over the Queensferry crossing on my way home today from work, and I was very, very tempted halfway across just to go straight right, So that's the kind of weekend I had on the fantasy football front. So yes, I feel the pain of many.
Well, you came from nowhere and beat me in 2 games, thanks mainly to fucking Derek Henry in 1 and another crazy score in another one, but I can't remember which one it is. So
Only 2 games. I was up against Kenneth Walker in Molan one that I was heading into last night. Heavy favourite to win in a couple of games, and woke up this morning with a loss thanks to one Kenneth Walker. So yeah, it wasn't the best of weeks for me all round really. And yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, at this stage, we're at week 4 now. So there's going to be a few managers who are sitting 4-0 and absolutely cheesing and probably looking to playoffs now, and rightly so. There's going to be a few that are 0-4, and it's a long way from 0-4, not dead, but it's a long way back, and it's all about kind of not getting relegated from that point. And everyone else in between, the season starts now. It really does. And of course, we've got bye weeks kicking in this week, so that's a whole different dimension to take into consideration. And sometimes, you'll be playing a team that are 4-0, but they've got 6 players on bye, so they're in trouble, and you can sneak a win there. So there's a lot still to happen. We're over a quarter of the way through the regular season now, but there's a lot still to happen. Just getting going.
Yeah, bye weeks with injuries I've got, bye weeks could be quite good to give me a chance. So that's the thing.
Well, that's
For the
that.
ones that do have injuries, I think that's let's just say it's the best chance to get the big teams. If they've got, is it Lions, Eagles? There's 4 teams on a bye this week, so they're going to hit a few. So there'll be no Barkley, no Jameer Gibbs, no Montgomery, no Amon St. Brown.
Yeah,
no Hart, no Goff. So it's there'll be a few fantasy hits this week, but yeah,
well, I mean, there will be every week from now on. Every week from now on, team you're going to get a hit, and teams are going to take a hit, and it's just it's the way of fantasy football. It happens every year. You can't say you're going to be surprised. What I will say is keep an eye on those waivers that are going through at the moment, because people will be looking to cover a bye week, and they might just drop a player that they shouldn't per se. I'll give you an example. In one league that I play in, Jonathan Brooks hit agency
I
this
can't
week.
believe I missed that as well. Like, they're raging.
And it didn't matter because Graham was waiver 1, and he was boasting about it very highly at tennis on the Thursday and the Friday night. So yes, it's safe to say that Graham as a number 1 waiver was getting Jonathan Brooks. But Johnny Brooks in agency, people do drop players to make space for someone to cover a bye week. So just keep an eye on those waivers, because you never know who's going to get dropped into them.
I was quite happy. I picked up Kareem Hunt 2 weeks ago, I think. So he might be a starter for me at some point.
Yeah, I'm sure he will.
Not too bad when you got the ball, so especially with pitch. Yeah, so we'll get started anyway. So we'll start off with the East Conference Division 1. So we've got this at Magnus Division. Big full screen now.
So these are the boys going for the title. These are the number 1s from the top players from last year in the East.
Yeah, so we've got the Glasgow Eagles 225.67 against the 0-4 Leicester Tigers 171.60. EK Colts 171.45, losing to the 4-0 Leeds Lassos 181.74. The Waternorton Warriors 181.58, come unstuck against Alaska Deep Freeze 214.08. Ancoat Citizens 179.80, go 2-2 against the also now 2-2 the Whitford Rockstars 170.88. The 1-3 Seattle Patriots, that could potentially was 2-2 if it wasn't for the score correction, 184.93 up against the 4-0 Carlton Crew, 214.09. Defending champions coming another defeat, 213.54 against 228.91, the Manchester Bees. So just 213 points are coming up, lost by about 15 points. Is a bit of a sore one, but.
So what I will say in those scores there, Johnny, no one's had a disaster. There's no disaster weeks here. I think the worst score is in the 170s. So yeah, I mean, no one scored badly in this league, in this division this week. No one has scored badly. There's one obviously 200-pointer that's get beat, and it's our defending champion. So little bit upsetting, but nothing you can do about that. And you got to just take that from the fact that you've scored 213 points.
Well, that's it. Well, you've got Jackson, Stevenson, Robinson, Hill, obviously. Jacoby Myers didn't really do much considering he was the number one receiver. DJ Moore did get a touchdown, but nothing much else. Goddard had another good game, 20 points. Conklin, well, the Jets were just the Jets and were fucking awful. Henry gave him a big boost at 45.5, running all over bloody Buffalo. Rattler only got 2 points. Bobby Wagner got himself 24, and Al-Sayer, who usually gets more, only got him 8.5.
Yes, I know
So
he
there's a
was
few
a problem for me this
underperforming
week
players,
as well.
but then of course Manchester Bees had Lawrence, Jameer Gibbs, good one. Chase Brown, you started Chase Brown, which is good. Stefan Diggs. Malik Neighbours, and don't know how much he's knocked out to know what day of the week it is, but at least he's not playing till Monday night this week, so he might get a
Monday, yeah, he has 10-day window, doesn't he?
Yeah. Zay Flowers, Sam Laporta, Dalton Kincaid, Jackson Smith and Jigba, Jake Moody, Patrick Queen, and Jordan Brooks, is it?
Yeah, I mean, this is two teams that are scoring 200 points, and you can see why.
Yeah,
you can absolutely see why they're scoring 200 points. I mean, if I'm doubling Everton Blues, I'm sitting and I'm looking and I'm thinking, oh, Stevenson, that's a couple of bad weeks now. I know that because I'm saying it for Show Me the Money, the home league. He'll be looking at Hill and thinking, when's Tua coming back? Please come back soon, Tua. But outside of that, I mean, it's fine,
I know that's it. Because Jacoby Myers, he'll probably do better when Adams is back if he doesn't get traded.
Yeah, Adams is coming back. I mean, Adams might get traded. If Adams get traded, it'll be a good thing for him as well,
Yeah, the IDP did. You don't often get 8 points for Al-Sayer, which is unusual for him. So
yeah, no, Al-Sayer's been scoring well. He's in my team.
But yeah, Matt Prater getting 2 points. That's not going to happen every week. But they were just getting hammered by Washington. So
44 against 30 odd. Yeah, I mean, there's a difference. IDPs are such important positions. And the thing is, there's so many of them sitting in the agency who will score points, So as much as it's such an important position because so many of them score well, that if you get a couple that don't score well in a week, it can cost you a game as it has here, as Dublin Everton Blues that I have found to their detriment. But, you get Geno Smith and Jaden Daniels on benches there. That's... obviously big points, and they're always going to be big points, and they're always going to be on the bench because they've both
Worthy on one bench and Pittman on another bench. So obviously Worthy might be starting on the bench in the future. You don't blame it though, because until if you knew Flacco was coming in, then yeah, we'd play him. But I wouldn't trust. I mean, none of us trust Richardson. So.
Do you know, I've heard that a couple of times now. Oh, Flacco's starting, you start Pittman. Pittman got his catch, a couple of his big ones from Richardson before he went off. Pittman was having a good game before Richardson went off. How many catches did he have? 6 out of 9. So he had 6 catches. At least 3 of them came from Richardson. So
yeah.
I totally agree putting Pittman on the bench this week. But I think it's maybe getting to this, maybe not this week if Richardson's back, but I think Pittman, I wouldn't be putting Pittman to agency, certainly. If I have him, he's on my bench. And he'll stay on my bench until I see him scoring proper. But he's a very good wide receiver, So, I mean, I would be sticking with Pittman at the moment and maybe even starting him over the likes of, I don't know, Myers or Conklin. I'd maybe be putting and I get why play Conklin. I played Conklin a couple as well. I get why he played Conklin this week because he got a special mention from Rodgers at the end of the game the week before as well. And when Rodgers starts calling you out, that's when he starts to go, target you and stuff. So I'm surprised Conklin didn't have a better game than that, but then none of them had a better game than that because it was absolutely hoovering it down at MetLife.
Yeah. I know.
Absolute pissing me rain.
It wasn't a pretty game anyway.
4 teams played at 4 teams played at MetLife Stadium over the weekend there over 4 days, and only one of them scored touchdowns. That's pretty scary.
That is a bit mental. Yeah, and yeah, I don't want to talk about those touchdowns. Like, ooh, what the hell?
Yeah, well, of course. But yeah, so let's have a wee look at the league and see where we're at then. How many 4-0s have we got here, Johnny? We get a couple, haven't we?
We've
Leeds
got 2
Lassos,
4-0s and 1 3-1.
Or 2 4-0s,
So-
so Leeds Lassos and Carlton Crew. And then Glasgow Eagles at 3-1. There are only 3 teams in this division with winning records. So 9 teams
Yeah.
are 50-50 or worse. So, I mean, this one is absolutely wide open. And that can only be a good thing for Leeds Lassos and Carlton Crew as well, because they've been on 4 wins. They're now kind of 2-1, you know, I know it's 8th place, but, you know, they're 2 ahead of 4th place, you know, so that's kind of getting yourself closer to being in the playoffs type thing, you know. I mean, I think
you've
the
got
4-0s
to
have
look
got to
at
start
Danny,
looking
though.
at the playoffs now.
Danny scored 810 points, sitting in 9th, but he conceded 839. So he's got the crap games out of the way. So hopefully now. So there's only 3 more teams in that division scored more points, and that's the top 3.
I mean, it just,
But
you
it's
know,
just come
it
up
goes to
against the
show
big
that when you
scores
run
out.
in,
So
when you run into a score, you run into a score, don't you? There's no much you can do about it, and it's unfortunate, you know, as you say. But with 800 points on the board, it's no time to panic. Even at 1-3, it's no time to panic. And I mean,
it's good scoring for the defending champion. Who's on playing week 5? Let's see that. So we've got the Glasgow Eagles against the EK Colts, Leicester Tigers against the Alaskan Deep Freeze, Whitford Rock Skulls against Leeds Lassos, Whatnot Warriors against Seattle Patriots, Manchester Bees against Aqua Citizens. Well, poor Danny's up against the Carlton Crew next.
So there you go. I mean, it's just what
he could beat them though. That's the thing. He's got to
and that
fancy
is
his
the thing
chances.
when you're scoring over 200 points week in, week out. You know, it's you're going to eventually start to win games, even against the top teams, even against the teams up the top. You know, and it's a good chance to get rid of one of those O's. You know, it's a big game for Danny, even in just week 5. It is a big game because you want to get rid of that O. You want all. You know, you don't want anyone to be on
he's
an
got
O
one.
on the loss.
He's 1-3. Leicester Tigers are 0-4. They're up against Alaska Deep Freeze are 2-2.
Yeah, but he wants rid of that O on the. He wants rid of the O on the other side. You know, if he can get rid of Carlton Crew's O, it's get one game closer. Leeds Lassos against it's up to Whitworth Rockstars to take their O away.
Jack, who's going to be missing? Well, he's got Richardson. Might missing Richardson.
Yeah, I mean,
they've started their teams already, so. Well, he's not got a choice. He's only quarterback.
4-0 with Richardson at quarterback. Jings, that's good going.
Yeah. But it's his only quarterback
Very good
as well.
going.
Yeah,
Marvin Andrews over there on Whitworth Rockstars. Are you giving up on Marv yet? I think it's time to tap out. Like,
yeah, would you thought so? But, yeah. Oh.
I mean, he's had two blanks already in 4 weeks. I'm way out on Andrews now. I'm way out.
Yeah, he's got to be a bit fitter now, but he's not even getting the targets. He's blocking more than he is actually getting targets. Likely he's getting them all. So yeah, maybe it's time for the new guy to take over.
I would be worried if I was sitting on Andrews. Thankfully, I have 0 shares in him anywhere. But yeah, I mean, this is obviously the top teams from last year, and you can see that in the league. You know, it's they're all scoring very well, despite the fact they're up against each other. You know, in the draft, so they've all drafted pretty well, and it's title and a nun's twat. You know, so a lot to play for here. Even the 0-4. About Leicester Tigers, far from out of it. You know, you get on a run, and you need to get on a run of wins now, though.
Yeah, 2 games away from the playoffs, so it's nothing really to worry about so far. And they did well last year, so they'll come up.
Absolutely. I mean, that's it. Everyone in this league will be paying much attention. You know.
So we'll head into my division, the Yesnavy division. So I managed to get 199.40, but I came up against Sean, 252.20.
That's a hell of a score for 4-0 as well.
Warner Bay Goonies 234.48 up against the Solihull Sharks 194.09. Then you've got the Yorkshire Finns now 2-2, 209.57 against the Buccaneers 141.80. The Glossop Fighting Gophers 167.77 2-2 against the Whitehall White Tigers, getting their first win 200.86. The Bankfoot Panthers going 2-2 up against the Godalming Goats, back on their decent score 186.03. Stoke and Bengals 2-2, 174.09 against 167.87. The Harrow Harlequins, that's quite a close one. But yeah, yeah.
I mean, that's a tough one, Johnny. You got 199 points, so you can't complain. But what have you ran into here?
Well, I had over 200 to Wilson's fumbled, and that put me under 200. Yeah, I've come into, well, Barkley only got 17, Rogers didn't, but yeah, Darren Jones 27, McLaurin 21, Kirk 22, Shahid 18.9, even Porter got 14, Robinson 24, Kamara 33, Hu 20, Spillane 24. Yeah, I don't know what I can do against that. It's just like, I even picked up Cross, who got 17, so yeah. Because I lost Singleton to IR.
Every single player on Sean's team there, every single player scored double digits. Yeah. When you run into that, you just run into that. You know, it's a great week for Newcastle Colts, and you know, Hill on the bench here as well. I see Hill's out. Hill's maybe going to be out again. No, that's a bit frustrating.
Every time he seems to do something.
Yeah. Every time he has a game, it's time to go. You know, he's got Dowdle there on the bench as well, who's scoring just fine, and Pittman, who again, I think we'll see Pittman on a lot of benches this week. You know, it's people have lost patience with him.
Yeah,
Tutu seems to be the number one target there for. I've got Tutu in quite a few, and I'm delighted that I've got him in quite a few. I mean, he was, when Cup wasn't about last year, Atwell got a lot of targets, you know, and people seem to have went for Johnson or they've went for, you know, Robinson, but it's Tutu all the way for me. So, yeah, Sean's bench here is great as well, but that's nothing to worry about, Johnny. You've got plenty of players there, and with 199 points on the board. What are you sitting at, 2-2 now?
Yeah, 2-2. So I think I'm sitting about 8,
yeah, nothing
like
about
7th or 8th. So yeah,
see, Fraser's
my highest scoring so far.
Is that your highest score so far?
It was a close one. I think so, yeah. So I've been missing Cup since the start, and obviously I missed my number one pick.
Yeah.
Always done bugger all. So I'm fighting away till Cup comes back, hopefully after the bye week.
Yeah, you'll be fine.
Yeah, 189 to 196. So and Mahomes,
yeah, I mean it's not it's close. Title weekend. This would have been, you know, this one would have been close all weekend, you know. And yeah, I mean Fraser loves his team, and you know it's a very good team, but his defenders who done so well last week and so well the week before have not done anything this week, and it's again, you know, that's what's costing them. If you look at IDPs, it's 11 and how? What's the other one? Sorry, 11 and 8.5 against 23 and 5. You know.
No, Cashman beat the both of them on his own. Oh, he had Edmonds, who did nothing either, but he did have played Tucker, which 17 points.
That's us seen both of mine now. That's us seen both of my IDPs because Edwards is my other one. So you can imagine how my game went. But yeah, I mean,
look at his bench: 33, 10, 21, 14, 18. Why did he not play Metcalf? It's going to be a shootout.
Well, you know, that's there you go. So it's so yeah, it's stupidity. It's I mean, he only got 18 to begin with anyway, but you know, it's you plug him in over who though. That's the thing, you know. He wanted to play. I mean, it's a hell of a squad, to be fair, that Fraser's got to pick from, and this is going to be the problem. He's going to leave the wrong ones on the bench often. I can see why he benched Metcalf there. I'm not sure I would have played Metcalf over any of them. I would have played him over Ayuk.
I would have played him over Ayuk until Ayuk starts playing better. But he
yeah,
had one catch he had one catch of 38 yards, and then he had another one catch for 10, and that was him. But again, he only had 5 targets.
Top 10 wide receiver in the NFL according to wages, Johnny. You know. But and do you know what the best of it is? The fans loved it when they paid him. The fans loved it. Every 49er I know was going nuts. Oh, we've finally paid him, hallelujah. Well, buyer's remorse alert. But yeah, I mean, Godalming Goats here, they're doing great as well. But Achan's a funny one. He seems to be suffering from no tour for some reason or another. But it's
and no
he'll
Mostert
be
as
needing
well,
that to turn around quickly.
Yeah.
Kyler as well. Kyler, I thought he was going to go off the chains this year, and he's had 2 good weeks. But he's had 2 very bad ones now. And again, I was expecting a shootout against Washington. I was expecting him to score a lot better than that against the Commanders, you know. So a little bit worrying for me personally. I'm worried about Murray, and I've got a lot of shares in him this year.
He was running for his life for most of the game, to be honest. But yeah, obviously Connor got 104 yards and a touchdown. CeeDee Lamb. He got most of his catches. He got most of his yards on one catch.
Yeah, that was
65 yards, and Jonas got 20 points, 30 points for the rest. Like bad coverage.
Yeah, there's a
Collins
plus 50 touchdown as well, wasn't it?
Yeah,
crazy. I mean, Nico Collins is flying at the moment. I think Nico Collins owners are going to be sitting very, very, very happy. And even when Tank Dell's there as well, Collins is a clear number 1. So I can see good things for him as the season goes on. But he's got that. Tucker. I think, and it could be that I think they'll trade Adams. I think they will trade Devontae Adams, and when they do, that's huge for that Tucker lad. You know, he'll get a lot of the passes once Adams is out of the equation. I think.
Yeah,
2 good teams here. A good win for Godalming Goats because he was up against a good team and it was a very close one. It'd been close all weekend, you know. So he'll be over the moon to have that one on.
And how many are on? So the better got to win it. So we've got 1-4-0.
You've got 1-4-0.
Sean.
Any 0-4?
2 3-1s. There'll be 1. Solihull Sharks. They've had 910 points against.
That's harsh. And it's 778 points scored after 4 weeks. Isn't it a disaster, you know? That is far from a disaster. So yeah, I wouldn't be overly worried if I was sitting there even at 0-4. As you say, Johnny, you're only 2 wins away from the playoffs, you know, and there's still 10 games to go the regular season, you know, it's loads of time to come and all the bye weeks to come. And
I'm playing the Harrow Harlequins. One of the games are playing the Yorkshire Twins. Solihull Sharks are up against the Whitehall White Tigers, who got the first one last week. So I wonder if Solihull can get their first run this week, and that'd be quite good.
This week.
The Godalming Goats against one of the Buccaneers. Bengals against the Gophers. Oh, Sean against Fraser. That'll be a good one.
Yeah, that'll be a good game because, as you say, Bankfoot Panthers team is very, very strong, but it's, you know, Sean's is just knocking out the park, and the bench is loaded as well. So
I wonder if he's toiling for tight end. He's got Taysom Hill in, who might not be playing because most of his team's on a bye week, which is probably bad for the rest of us.
Yeah, because
he's just getting them all out the bloody way. But
yeah, he's got Barkley there. He's got Laporta as well. Yeah, so I mean, it's looking good for Sean. But as you say, with those bye weeks, it's a good week for Fraser to get him. So, yeah, I agree, Martin. To be honest with you, I am a Kyron owner, and I am a little bit worried about the fact that he's getting so many touches that it could end up being getting hurt. It's what happens, isn't it? But let's not forget that all those folk that panicked when it was announced that Williams was going to be catching punts, and he literally dropped. He dropped quite substantially in drafts after that announcement. I can't believe how much he dropped. It was just a nothing announcement, and whoop to do. But there you go. He's getting all the touches and he's getting all the points, but there is the injury worry when you're getting that. I said that about Cup, and the very next week he got hurt, you know. So
Yeah, that's your fault, that one. He didn't have that many catches either. He only had about 3.
I know, Bill, I know, but he was just, it was the amount of targets he was getting. It was only a matter of time before something bad happened, you know. So, and yeah, I see the same for Kieran Williams as well. I agree.
Yeah. So we'll go into your division next, Queen Hill.
Yeah, just skip it.
No. So we've got the Hot Shot Hot Dogs, 175.09 against the Pressing Panthers, 170.82. The New Barcelona Masters, 254.16 up against the Portsmouth Pirates, 192. The Vikings, 185.44 against the Leeds Lepers, who have changed their name in the logo, 224.84. Darlington Rams, 187.95 up against the Packers, 158.63. But we'll not mention that one at the moment. The Chicago Scorpions get off the mark. They're now 1-3, 225.68 against the Nairn Knights, who are now 0-4, 163.20. The Storming up the top, Glenrothes Nazgos, they go 4-0 against 234.03. Of course, you'll enjoy that one because you did beat Doug, 208.25, the top head 39ers. Go and tell us what happened then,
Can
Craig.
we have a...
It is.
So Dougie losing to 200 points is a bit hard. So what happened here was just none of my guys turned up. I think I did overthink it a little bit. I mean, I put Dowdle in when I probably shouldn't have.
Right, 16.
I mean, he done all right, you know, but Cook had a bad week. Murray had a bad week. My 2 defenders, my 2 IDPs went absolutely nuts bad week.
Kelsey showed up for once. So 24.
He did, and do you know what? I had Ertz in for him for all week, and then I changed him back in at the last minute. I thought, no, not just yet. I'll give him one more week. He always destroys the Chargers, and so and with Rice out, that's going to be a good thing for Kelsey as well. So I'm a little bit more upbeat about Kelsey now. But yeah, Edwards and Al Shahir.
Edmonds,
you know, that's just that's an anomaly. That's not going to happen every week. They score a lot more points than that. I have Algier there on the bench. I traded this week. I traded away. I mean, it was a nothing trade, but I traded away Calvin Ridley, and I picked up Hopkins and Ertz. I think it was Hopkins and Ertz. So I mean, neither done anything really, you know. So I didn't start either of them either this week. But I've just got so many shares in Ridley that I thought I'll get rid of them here when the offer came in, you know. So,
but then the big question is: are you going to play Algier this week? Because I think Bijan's a bit banged up.
Well, Bijan's out, then I'll be playing him. But
is he out? If he's banged up, I'll still play him.
Definitely be playing Algier. I mean, Algier's does fine with Bijan in, you know, he does get his touches and stuff, so he'll get run-outs, you know. As I say, just this week I decided to go the way I went. Now, there, of course, I've got Tutu on my bench, and Shaheed, I could have dropped back in as well. I mean, I've got points there to be had, you know, and Kay Walker, 19.5, and, you know, well, I went with the other 2 this week, but he is very much an option. So, you know, my bench is scoring. I'm 1-3, and I'm not totally downhearted about it. I do believe that I've got a better than a 1-3 team, and it's not even that I'm 1-3 and scoring a lot of points. I'm 1-3 and scoring 8 points, but I still like my team. But this one I want to see, because I thought Doug was on top. I thought Doug was winning this. Did Martin have a big run towards the end of the week last night? Did he maybe have? No, not particularly.
No,
not particularly. I thought Doug was going to win this one at one point when I was looking, I've got to say. But yeah, Chubba knocked one out of the park, and he's got a Rashid Rice problem. Has Martin? No, it's, you know, it looks like he's going to be out for a while. They normally don't get it wrong when they say he's done his ACL. You know, I know they've got to wait for the MRI, but I think he's probably done his ACL, and I think you might have seen the last of Rashid Rice this season.
And you'll not see him next season for a bit because he's going to be suspended. So
I think that might still come this year as well as a thing.
Well, they chuck him in while he's injured. Oh, Sam.
Yeah, I mean, it's what's Martin got on the bench to cover for him? He's got Lad McConaughey there, you know. He's got Addison there, so yeah. I mean, it's I see he left Ridley on the bench as well, which was a smart move this week. But Ridley will have his weeks for sure, you know.
Watson's injured again. What happened to Watson?
He got hurt. He got crushed. Someone landed on his leg. So he's going to miss a couple of weeks for sure. He'll be back. He'll be back towards in a couple of weeks' time, I'm sure, and then he'll go and get hurt after a couple of weeks again. But again, he'll have a week or two. So yeah, things are looking very good for Martin. No wonder he's watching because there's not much bad that can be said other than you got Rice. Rice being a problem, but with the rest of the team, I wouldn't worry about it. And
Doug must have loved it when Rice got out with no points and thinking, "Oh, I've got a chance." But yeah, Fields is just
Yeah, I mean, I thought Doug was very unlucky this week. He started Brown there as well, which is good. He must be a little bit worried about White and more importantly the Bucky Irvine touches that he's getting. But I mean, apart from that, maybe Drake London you're a little bit worried about. But I mean, Doug's pretty solid there as well. He's got Darnold there on the bench who's going nuts. He left Stevenson on the bench. So I mean,
I don't know if David Wicks will do that again in a hurry. But yeah, he had a cracking game. But no, he still got 200 points. It's more than 1, 2, 3, 4. The fifth highest scorer team in the league this week. I think it's the same. So
Wicks will do well with Love back in now. Love likes Wicks. I would be starting Wicks now if I were Doug, and when I have him, I'm starting him now. But yeah, New Barsden Mashers knocked one out of the park this week as well with 254. So it's not just getting off.
We're not talking about the Rousay Cup, but I played in the Rousay Cup, New Barsden Mashers, in the first week 1 and in week 4. And that's only 2 weeks they would have beaten me, and they beat me in the Rousay Cup because they scored the highest score both games.
Well, it's certainly they're 2 and 2 as well. So that's not 2 wins, obviously.
Yeah, that's not 2 wins.
But let's have a wee crap. Let me have a wee look at the league, Johnny. I think we've got 3 4-0 still,
and a 3-1. 2 2-2.
Yeah, I mean,
it's all 1 and
Sam
3,
obviously got Darlington Rams got a good win against me this week, and the Leeds Leopards still up there at 4-0 and absolutely flying as well. Over 800 points. So at 3 of them at 4-0 means there's only 1 3-1. So they've got, in fact, the 4-0s have got a 3-game head start on the playoffs. The team in 7. So with 7's been 1 and 3, and said the 1 and 3s are losing touch. We need to get going. We need those O's to go. We need Martin, Sam, and Matty to lose one, and we need them to lose one soon. So who have they got this week?
So Leeds Leopards are up against the Preston Panthers. You're up against the Portsmouth Pirates. Doug's up against another 4. He's got the 4-0 Darlington Rams this week, so maybe Doug will get one at the bag there. And the Near Knights are up against again left. So it's a 4-0 against an 0-4.
I'm going to curse you here. I'm going to curse you here, Martin, because that is when the O's go. When it's an OVO, that's when it's an OVO on the other opposite sides. That's when the O's go.
Well, he's got Addison in
the team. This is my upset of the week. This one, I think that Joe will beat Martin here and cause the upset and give him his first loss and get his first win while he's at it, without even looking at the teams. Okay. But I mean, if you look at Joe's team there, it's absolutely fine. It's he's got obviously Swift. Swift came back from this week.
He's got to take out Montgomery. He's obviously not sorted his team, but he's got a bye and a kicker.
Yeah, it's only, I think, it's only Tuesday.
Well, he's got a choice of Coram, Wright, or Herbert running back, and he needs a kicker.
Yeah, the bench isn't great, is it, for what he's got to replace? But go on, Joe. You go and knock that O off of him. And obviously, I'll be cheering Doug on this week because I want Sam's-O to go as well.
You're bigging yourself up for everybody watching you. So we'll go on to Division 4. I'm not giving up yet.
1 and 3, but I'm not giving up.
Oh no, because you're only one game off the playoff spot.
Yeah, 1 game in.
It's a long way to go.
I still like my squad. I think I've got wins in me.
Cool. So we'll head on to the Millhead division. So here we've got Arthur get to 2 and 2. 203.60 against the Laxey of Legends, 194.91. The Workshop of Rookies, 151.32, up against Gary getting his first win. Bucks Gold Rush, 179.07. Preston Hawks, so Pez is getting the second win, 197.46, up against the Kirkwall Chargers, also 2-2, 165.79. Aberdeen Bucks going 4-0, 239.70 up against the Bedford Brewskis, 161.7. Bodden Bears 2-2, 181.42 against 190.31. The Yorkshire Los Muertos, also 2-2. And this is the game of the week by far. Rotherham Raiders 236.23 against 243.94. Edinburgh Thunderbirds, both now 3-3. That would win most games in any leagues. It's just unreal. This is probably the best scoring game in the history of the OrkneyBowl. I could probably safely say that one.
I think that 236, you've got to look at that and say, yeah, with 236 and losing is exceedingly harsh. There'll not be many people have scored 236 points and lost in the OrkneyBowl, put it that way.
And your first loss as well.
Very unlucky. Very unlucky for Rotherham Raiders, but absolutely nothing to worry about. There you go to Kieran. Kieran Williams and Alvin Kamara. I'd let any two running. Is there a better combination than that at running back at the moment?
He played Pittman as well, so he got 21 points for Pittman. So he didn't
Hill's the big worry there, you know. Hill's obviously the big worry, but Hill is Hill. He will still score. If you've got Tyreek Hill, there's no way you're benching him. You're playing him every week, and he will definitely have big weeks, you know. It just maybe Huntley needs a little bit of time to settle in, or
well, the kicker didn't help. He only got 6 points for his kicker.
And
what's the bench? Golf, Benson. The bench made no difference. Maybe the different quarterback, but
but
it really made it. Yeah, you're not going to drop Burrow, no.
Edinburgh Thunderbirds have got a problem now, though, because they've got Lamar Jackson starting, and Love's back, and Love's, you know, fly. You know, he came back. The first half, I'm putting down to rustiness, and then the second half, he looked like Jordan Love again, and 40 odd points or so. Can you drop Jackson? Asking for a friend. That friend's being the Edinburgh Thunderbirds.
But then you've got there's obviously you've got Jefferson, Collins, Worthy now get more targets now that Rice is out. Kittle does his
Worthy's going to be huge.
Robbins will do better. Williams went off him with that big massive touchdown. Was it 70 yards? So basically he had one reception for 10 yards, one reception for 70, and a touchdown.
I mean,
and Q scoring 20 points as well. So
it was crazy kicks that he was getting through, though. I mean, what was it? 58-yard winners with the last kick or something like that. Yeah, I mean, Q's.
Oh yeah, the last second. Yeah.
Q's the best kicker in the league now, I would say. Certainly, Tucker's very much lost that tag. I think he lost it a while ago, but it just goes to show you the difference a kicker can make as well. You know, I mean, the kicker's the difference here, really. You know, if Q scores the same as Fairbairn, then Rotherham Raiders wins the game. So nothing to worry about for Rotherham Raiders at 3-1 as well. Okay, they lost his O, but you're going to lose your O at times, and it leaves Aberdeen Bucks as the only team on 4-0 and 239 points this week. Shows you that there's absolutely no worries for Aberdeen Bucks in the sense of scoring and such. They're going along very, very well. So good times for them at the moment. And you can see the difference between League One and the First Division. The First Division and the Fourth Division, can't you? Because the First Division, no one scores under 170 points, and in the Fourth Division, many do. You know?
Yeah, there's a big difference in points wise and stuff like that. But yeah, like Pez he's now 2 in a row, going to 2-2. Gary getting off the mark, which is good because was he the last one? Gary was the last one. It was 0-3 after losing last week. So everybody's got at least one win.
First one. The first one we've looked at that everyone's got a win on the board. So I mean that's great. That's great for the competition as well. You know, the fact that everyone's got a win on the board now. Only one team's got got 4-0. So, I mean, again, absolutely wide open. Everybody's in it and nobody's out of it. So great that it's wide open.
I know, and obviously, you get your second win, you could end up in fourth. You're not going to end up in fourth, but fourth place is 2-2. So it's 1 and 3.
Who's got the Aberdeen Bucks in week 5? Who's got Aberdeen Bucks in week 5 to see who's going to try and maybe take the O away, get the last O of the divisional gone?
Thunderbirds. So
That's a huge cracking game, isn't it? That's the Edinburgh Thunderbirds could do everyone a big favour this week and knock that O off, and
they are the highest scoring team in the league. So
they'll certainly got a great team and been flying along. So big one to do it.
And that's going to be
the 1 and 3.
I'm glad the 1 and 3s are all. There's no 0 and 4s because I like to see somebody get the first win.
It's always good to get. It's always good to see everyone have a win on the board, and it's. I don't think we've had an 0 and 14 season. We didn't have an 0 and 14 season last year, did we? No.
Edinburgh Thunderbirds, I think, were 0 and 10 before they got their first win last year, and look at them now, 3 and 1. Win a cracker last week, or a good chance of maybe topping up another unbeaten team. So it's amazing what one season does when you get in the right level. So it's a good one. So yeah, I'm pretty sure they were 0 and 10.
It's nice to see everybody. It's nice to see everybody get off the mark, and I do like to see everyone get off the mark, and I like to see everyone get a loss as well. Apart from me, obviously, I do like to see everyone get a loss as well.
Craig,
it's always.
I think everybody, when you slag everybody off, everybody likes to see you get a loss, so it's okay. But yeah, that was Gary's first year last year, so he's doing well this year. He's obviously picking up what he has. So.
Certainly learned very quickly, that's for sure. So let's see if we can knock off Aberdeen Bucks this week.
So yeah, that's the date.
Listen, I know I take it. That's why I dish it out so much, because I take it so much, and I am crap, so I take it a lot.
Yeah. Well, I get it when I'm not even slagging anybody else off. It's like, well. Right, so we'll move on to the West Conference. So we get to the Happy Valley, which for the third week in a row has the highest scoring team of the week. A different team this time, but we'll get to that in a minute. So the Gothenburg Angels 172.971 and 3 against the 4-0 Rousay Cup winners, South London Rebels 233.65. The 3-1 Melbourne Supremacy losing the first game 109.23 to the Bognor Regis Balkans 220.96. The Kirkwall Cowboys, that's Ross, 147.9, losing to Graham. The Bonnie Cowboys with an supposed in that one is obviously setting a business. 221.57, 2-2. Yeovil winners 2-2, 210.63 up against the Royal Raiders. Aaron's coming down with a thump, 132.54. I don't know if he's watching tonight, but probably not. The Whitford Educators 193.30, 0-4 up against Everett. Gets his first win. It's when his old boys turned up. 272.23, the highest score of the week, so he's over the moon. Allen going 1 and 3, 162.37 up against the Darlow Destroyers, 221.62. Do you want to
before we jump into Everett's, but before we jump into Everett's highest score, I'm just in Aaron's defence. He is moving flat. He booted out his flat yesterday, so he was packing and more packing for the last week, getting everything done. He's they're going away travelling to Asia and such. So moving out of the flat over the weekend, so in London. So he has an excuse, but let's see what happened to him. So
then his team,
I've seen a lot of red.
His bench wasn't much better anyway. So you got Richardson 6 points, Hall 5 points, Moss scored points, London got 14, Pickens scored points, Judy. You had the level of Kyle Pitts on the bench playing. Adoonza got 2 points. Robinson had a good game. Dicker the kicker still not done much this year, got 5 points. Nick Bosa 17 and Hutchinson only got 3 quarterback hits, 1.5. But his bench isn't much better, 3.5, 0, 13, 4, 10, 2. So he almost picked the perfect lineup, so it wouldn't have made any difference.
It's one of those weeks, Brees Hall going off and a lot of guys going off at the wrong time. Richardson obviously only playing a quarter and a half. It's Yeah, that happens, and when it happens, you get beat. But it's his first loss of the season. He's 3-1, so I will stand up for him and say that he is 3-1,
Well,
and he's 3-1 for a reason. It is the top division as well, so
it's
he's going
better
along
losing
just
now
fine.
than it's better losing now than the playoffs. So
Well, do you know
we'll
what?
head
See,
up to
the longer you go with that the longer you go with that the more nervous the more you want to keep it. That's all I'll say as well. If I'm on a good season and I'm going well, I do want to lose one early doors just to get that off the back and not be thinking about a perfect season, because a perfect season. I mean, I play maybe I'm in 20 leagues this year. I've got 20 leagues this year, and I play at least 16 every year. I have done for maybe 10 years. And I think I've had maybe 2 or 3 perfect seasons, and that is it. It is not easy to do. And I think the perfect seasons didn't even win the Super Bowl. They get beat in the playoffs at some point along the way. So it's very difficult to do. And the closer you get to it, the more you want it. Anyway, Everett, what a score.
yeah,
Is that
272.
his
So you're
first win as
28
well?
Yeah, that's his first win.
First win,
And obviously
272 points.
he didn't have Adams either because he was out. So you got Joe Burrow 228 points, Harris 14 points, Brian Robinson 26 points, Jamar Chase 23 points, Greg Dortz 9 points, Mike Evans 27 points, Jake Ferguson 19 points, Kenneth Walker 40 points,
There's
Jerome
why.
Ford 21 points, Q 20 points, Edwards getting 16 points, and Spillane also getting 24 points. You had Goff on the bench at 35 points, and the rest is, but yeah, can't argue with that team. So
I mean, he's had one of those weeks, hasn't he? Brian Robinson got benefited from Eckler being out. Harris benefited from Warren being out. And I know that Nichols came in, and I know that Cordell came in as well, but they got their touches, and that helped. That helped along the way. You've got Mike Evans fight showing up after a couple of off weeks, but as I keep saying it, Evans is going to be fine. He'll get his 1,000 yards and such. He's going to have some bad weeks, so you're just going to need to live with that. But I mean, the big thing is Walker back, isn't it? And it looks like he's no missed a beat either. So
no,
that's massive for Walker owners.
but yeah, it looked pretty good. Obviously, but for Dolly, Allen did nothing. That's what cost him a lot as well. And then you got Hill scored. He played Hill, played Swift.
I mean, playing Hill and Swift are two big choices. So what's on the bench that he played them two in front of?
Well, he was missing Eckler, Roshan Johnson. Don't like the fact he's got three quarterbacks.
All right, yeah, therein lies the problem. Yeah, so I mean, it's maybe it had Pacheco or something like that. I'll give him benefit of the doubt, but
it's CDIRs in this one.
It's when you've got Hill and Swift starting, and you get that type of production from them when they've done absolutely nothing, and you still lose. That's a bit harsh. But when you run into 272 points, there's nothing you can do about it.
Now we'll go for the Battle of the Cowboys. So
yeah, Graham's
one of them is going to be 1-3. So he's got obviously Jahmyr Gibbs and Kieran Williams. There's nearly 50 points between them.
It's a home league derby.
Purdy getting 21. Cooper did nothing. Ziegler seemed to catch every third down catch he was getting thrown at him. McLaurin, 21 points. Kincaid getting 16. Pollard, he wasn't really doing much, and then he started getting through near the end and getting a couple of big runs. 24 points. Mason, 27 points. Moody getting 13 points. Nothing. 2 tackles out of TJ Watt. That's not going to happen very often. And Miles Garrett getting 16 points. I think he even left the game for a bit and came back in. But then
TJ Watt and Miles Garrett as your defenders has got to be a good thing. But I mean, yeah, it's a cracking team for Graham. I wouldn't want to come up against them. They started slowly, but that's them starting to find their feet now. They're starting to go. And he's got Dak there on the bench. He's got Corum on the bench in case something happens to Williams. So if Williams goes down, he's got Corum sitting there. He's got Debo on the bench that he can unleash whenever he feels. So I mean, I wouldn't want to be running into Graham at the moment, that's for sure. And at 2-2, There's
looking
on
holiday.
the up there.
And the 4-0,
And
Tony Harrison, 34. He had
South London Rebels,
0.7 as well.
4-0. Oh,
So
for Carson
Steele.
Steele is he's still your fab. He's stealing fab. That's all he's still stealing fab. Everybody's fab because everybody went nuts on him.
Yeah, but then he also had obviously Stroud, Johnson, Nico Collins, Ertz, Henry, Javonte Williams, and Speed as a linebacker made up for it. But he's got Dowdle on the bench.
Good players sitting in there. Algier on the bench. Bigsby's getting more and more off Etienne, by the way. And I'll tell you what, Jennings still got his... And I called it. I said Jennings would still get targeted, even although they were all back. And he did. He got 6 targets. So, I mean, Jennings is one of those ones where, yeah, you brought him in because Debo was out and Kittle was out, but he's very much worth having on your bench. And he's one that you can rely on to put in during a bye week, you know. So say you've got AJ Brown, you know, Devontae Smith this week. I know that they're injured, but Jennings is a guy you can plug in and he might just get you something, you know.
So you've got
South London Rebels. The only O here.
Yeah, look at the points against 951.59.
Yeah, that's got to hurt. But what's the points for?
Not that great, 692. But,
yeah, 692. You see, that's why it's on 4.
But the Gothenburg Angels are the second highest scoring team, sitting at an 8th because after that loss. But 804 for South London Rebels. Dallas Stars, the highest scoring team, 3-1. Melbourne Supremacy, 3-1. Wagner Regis, 3-1. Royal Raiders, 3-1. Graham getting up to the 2-2. So there's 2 teams at 2-2. All 1-3s, 1-1-4. So basically, it's a swap over. So
yeah, a lot of 3-1s there as well. So Whitworth Educator's going to need to get that win soon to get on, get after them, you know, because there's a lot of teams on 3 wins there. And the 1-3s are going to need to be looking at getting a win again. But, I mean, Gothenburg Angels, you just don't worry if you're Gothenburg Angels with the points for. They're just running into some scores, but that'll turn around soon. And obviously, Everett's Turnbull Titans at 1-3, but you know, scoring 270 points is only going in the right direction. So that's nothing to overly worry about either, I would say. So I mean, there are a couple of those 1-3s that you see coming fast, you know, so the other ones are really going to need to do something to hang on, stay on in there.
Definitely. So we'll move on to Mays Howe division. So we've got Del Boy won. I thought he was good. Yeah. So Derek Kilmarnock Kings go 2-2 with 228.08 up against the Belfast Benchwarmers, losing their first game, 154.70. Dickensheath Demons 251.77 go 3-1 against the Portland Lumberjacks. McGonigal 177.33. They go 2-2. Southampton Dockers, the Southampton Dockers, 185.15 against 183.05. This is going to be a close one. The Crew Juggernauts. So that's the Crew Juggernauts' first loss, but obviously score correction could change that one. And 2-2. The Lancaster Bombers won in 397.52 against 183.68. The Bonnerig Cheeseheads 2-2. Glasgow Lightnings get back and win away 3-1, 256.74 against the South Carolina Broncos, 193.29. Another close one. Whitford Warriors 165.60 against 164.80. The Dobos Darlow Diamonds.
Very close.
So the Dobos will be hoping for a score correction to get them their first win of the season. I've already been speaking to Dave about this. He's keeping his legs crossed until Thursday.
I'll bet. But I mean, this is the first division we've seen. This is the first league we've seen, Johnny, that's had no 4-0. So everybody's lost here. There's one where everybody's won, and now this one, everybody's had a loss.
No, Dobo Darlings haven't won yet. They're 0-4. They need to score correction to get the win.
But this is the first one we've seen that no one's 4-0. This is the first league where everybody's had a loss.
Thanks to Derek and the Southampton Dockers. They did have 2-3 in those 3-1.
It's thanks to Belfast bench warmers only scoring 150 points. I mean, Derek scored a great score, don't get me wrong, 228, but I mean, 160 would have won him that game, so it's a
Come
bit
on,
of
give
a
Derek
waste.
some credit, man. You're always slagging him off when he loses. You've got to give him some credit when he wins, man. The Jared Goff,
There you go. It's a big score as well, I'm going to guess that we're
Alistair
going to
Cup
see
for you.
either Derek Henry or Kenny Walker on the. There you go, Kenny Walker. Told you.
And Tucker. He played Tucker. Fred
Tucker
Warner
in as well. Tucker's
points.
a good pickup.
There you go. There's his defence. 40 points for his defence. So.
It makes such a difference, It's and again the defence, and 16 and 17 is fine, but it still got destroyed, And see, he's got to see with the Swift there, Devontae Swift. I'm worried about Swift, and I'm worried. I would hate to own him. I don't have any shares in him whatsoever, and I would hate to own him because after that game, can you leave him out?
Yeah.
But I think he's going to go back. I think you're going to get more weeks 1 to 3 from Swift than you are week 4 for the rest of the season. I think Johnson's going to get more and more touches as well. And yeah, he had a big week, but I think he's got to put him in now. But I think he'll disappoint him more often than he'll help him. But yeah, great win for Derek. Super score as well. It's not even just a win; it's a score. It's when you're scoring high, you know that your team's doing well and that you can be quite comfortable with it. But nice to see, as I say, everyone having a loss in this one. And there's a few tight ones here, Johnny. There's a few tight ones that could go. You've got 180. Is that 185 to 183?
Yeah, so this could potentially be a score correction. If it's score correction, would have an unbeaten team. So this is the one you don't want to swap if you like to see everybody lose a game. But you had Henry playing, Montgomery, Jefferson. Oh, you had Rice. Losing Rice basically cost him the game.
Rice, babies, and Kyle Pitts. I mean, Kyle Pitts is, well, the Pitts, isn't he, really? There's nothing more to say about it. But what's on the bench? What did he leave on the bench? Two quarterbacks on the bench.
Yeah. He's got Bucky Irvin, Chase Brown. He's got good running backs as backup.
Chris. Yeah, so he's running backs here. He's got some great running backs here on the bench, and they could have been the difference, if it had played Brown, if it had played Bucky. It might have made a bit of a difference.
Well, that's the thing.
His biggest
three quarterbacks, and he's got 2 Bears receivers, DJ Moore and Adunze.
Yeah, that's a bit worrying, isn't it? And Kyle Pitts at tight end. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot. I see a lot of holes here. That's slightly worrying. I would be slightly worried. I mean, it's 3-1 crew juggernaut, so they're going great. And obviously, Darnold and Henry, Montgomery, Jefferson, brilliant. But then you've got to replace Rice, and I see a few holes down there as well. But yeah, 3-1, nothing to worry about. 183 points, and you might get a turnaround, but
yeah. And the other one,
it's a good win for Southampton Dockers at the moment.
But this
and the other one, the other tight one,
0.8 points between the two of them.
So what did Dobos Dallos Diamonds leave on the bench then? What Dobos? What have they left on the bench?
Dobos Dallos Diamonds. Not a lot, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, they've played their best team, haven't they? So there's nothing really.
They might get
it's just a loss then, isn't it? It's just a loss.
Shakir's on limited practice this week. Obviously, Pierce usually does better than that. Dulcich did nothing. What's got a tight end out? Oh, he lost McBride.
He lost McBride. And Dell out as well, McBride out, Dell out, Mosley out. They had injury problems there, so you can understand and still scored that. Well, no, it's 164 points in it, but you can understand the loss there, and Whitchurch Warriors. There's nothing better than stealing a wee one. I get that you've got to wait till Thursday in these stupid leagues, but it's a great win. At the moment, when you steal one like that, you feel like this might be my year. I'm getting those ones. I mean, Aidan Hutchinson's went from what was it, 40 odd points one week to 1.5.
Yeah,
therein lies the reason why it's so much.
I think Thompson might have left the game as well. So Yeah,
you know.
he
So
tore his Achilles during the game, so he only got 9 points, but he left the game. But then he'd lost Hill as
it's
well.
just what, but
Nixon was out. Warren was out. Bloody hell. Crosby was out.
yes.
It's like
So
Milwaukee
injuries
Wounded.
down.
She changed his name to Whitchurch Hospital.
But you know, still getting the win and going 2-2.
Oh,
You
it's a good
know,
win.
these players aren't on IR or anything. These are guys that are going to be coming back soon. So yeah, good position for actually for Whitworth Warriors, provided they hold on to the win, obviously. But with a decent squad there, and again starting Hill, there you go. There's another that started Hill. Great start. Forced into it with Mixon being out, etc. But you know, it's always nice when you're forced into playing a guy and he goes off in one for a week. You know, it feels so good.
It does. And like obviously Thomas had a good game. Williams, okay game. Amon Russell Brown. That was the game last night. Amon Russell Brown, 24 points.
Yeah, went well as well.
Kazeki did nothing. Well, it could end up being that the fumble by Wilson could cost them the game. That late fumble, which is like stupid.
Well, it could do, yeah.
So yeah, but no, it's a good win. A bit nervous for him, but
good one. Yep.
When he was chatting away,
And,
I thought he was actually losing by that, but no, he's actually winning by that. So, but that's let's say it's a good win, and hopefully, well,
yeah. And hopefully Dobbo's gets off the mark next week, and then that'll be the first one that's got no zeros. All the O's are gone. Yeah. If Dobbo's can go off the mark.
To Marwick Head.
Division
3. 0-4 Peterhead Bloody Jets only got 124 points against the London Eagles going 2-2, 240.47. Nottingham Rebels now go 2-2, 173.69, losing to the Wakefield 49ers now 3-1, 217.90. Darlington Dragons even lower, 1-3, 119.18, up against Grote winning his first game, 1-3, 155.73. Gorgie Vikings. The Chester Hurricanes, which is the second time they've been the highest scoring team in the division, 242.99, 3-1 against the Guildford Raptors, 1-3, 167.68. The Sandbag Satans, 3-1, 221.57 against the Birmingham Master Chiefs, losing their first game, 188.60. The Cabite Porkers, 165.09, and for Pork, I still can't believe they won 2 games, but they're 2-2 against the Norwich Muscle Men, 212.97. Well, he was going on. You knew he'd lost on Monday, but he was overly impressed. He was 2-2. So
again, everyone's lost a game. Again, everyone's lost a game in this division. There are no 4-0s, which is always good. And I believe there's no 0-4s either. I think this division's got all the O's going. Oh no, there is.
Bloody Jets.
Yeah, Peterhead Bloody Jets ruining it. Yeah. But yeah, only what is it? 5. There's 5 teams at 3-1 in this division. So
yeah.
The 1 and 3s are kind of looking up, going, I'm now 2 games behind 5th. That's not good. So yeah, if I'm kind of Gorgie Vikings, who got off the mark in the home league for the first time this week as well. So big week for Grote. Darlington Dragons and Guildford Raptors, they're going to need get chasing those 3-1s, and Peterhead Bloody Jets. Well, it's a long way back from there, isn't it? And score, but there's one thing being 0-4. There's another thing being 0-4 and scoring 132 points in a game week. That points to the squad being decimated.
But then, they also they have scored more than Pork, though. He's only scored 632 points in the season, but he's also won a game, 2 games. But yeah, it's they've not done very well. They're not holding their head up very high there, but it's the
3-1s is the thing. If these 3-1s keep winning and these 1 and 3s and 0-4s keep losing, this will split. This will very quickly become 2 different leagues, and that can happen sometimes. When you've got some that get away, and you get that division in the end, and then the bottom lot are only playing for maybe 1 or 2 playoff spots, so it can be tough. So if you look at who they're playing, and look at this week, the 3-1, 3-1, 3-1, 3-1,
3-1s.
4 of the 3-1s are not playing are playing separate. Obviously, 2 3-1s there, but when there's 5 of them, there's going to be that. So kind of big week for Guildford Raptors, for Darlington Dragons, for Cavite Porkers. They could really do with beating those 3-1s, you know, and getting that wee bit. And if they were to win, see if all three of those teams were to win this week, this league would squeeze right up. It would be the exact opposite. It would be so tight.
Yeah. But then you're going to have at least one 4-1 team.
Yeah, there'll be one 4-1 team.
Against Chester, but
who would be sitting very comfortable. But yeah, if those 1 and 3s can win this week, or and Pork as well, it would make this division the tightest division by a long way. But of course, and the swing effect of that is if all the 3-1s win, then it opens it up to kind of the top 4 and then the rest. So big weeks for those 3 teams. I think if those 3 teams can get a win, it'll make a huge difference to this division.
That's probably the shortest review we've done of the league yet. But we'll go on to the Dwarfy Stain. There we go. So we've got the Bluetoon Texans getting their first win. We did say he was going to do well because you had been scoring well. 237.28 against 166.39 the Q Kings. Cork Red Army 1 and 3, 132.97 up against the Lagerbowl Lemon, 163.55. Gloucester Wolfpack 174.93, now 2 and 2 against 125.45 the 1 and 3 Bangham Sharks. 179.01 for the Rhino Cardinals against the 2 and 2 Fulwood Patriots, 214.85. Plymouth Assassins 168.81 against the 267.22 3-1 Not Cold Knockout. That's one of the new teams. Manchester Spinners 2 and 2, 206.83 coming up against the Birmingham Bears, the other new team, 266.34. So the new ones are doing well, 3-1 for both.
So we've finally found one, Johnny. We've finally found one where there are no O's. All the O's have gone.
Yeah. I thought we had found one.
All the O's have gone. So we've got 4 3-1s, 4 3-1 and 3s, and 4 2 and 2. So it really could not be any more open, this division, you know. And I mean, the Manchester Spinners 206 points. And losing is about half, you know.
29, 23 against 33, 21 against 40, 23. Oh, there we go. Wilson. But then he comes back with Diggs. Got Kincaid. Samuel, Wiggins. The kicker.
Are you worried if you're a Wilson owner, Johnny?
I would be.
Are you starting to get worried about Wilson? There you go. It's the defend IDPs again here. The difference IDPs are different.
I don't think I've got Garrett Wilson anywhere.
Neither do I, but would you be worried if you were sitting on him? Because I think it's getting to the stage where I would be quite worried about him now, in the sense that Rodgers is going to spread the ball about. You know, Rodgers will have good. The Jets will have very good weeks, and Rodgers will have very good weeks, and Wilson will have very good weeks. But you didn't draft Garrett Wilson. If you drafted Garrett Wilson, you drafted him in what, the second round?
Second or third round, yeah.
So,
but no, I'd rather play Lazard over him at the moment. So,
yeah, I mean, I would rather play Conklin over him, to be honest with you, as well as Lazard. And I'd just rather not play any of them, if I'm being totally honest, because I think that they'll all get.
Look at the bench.
So, you know, even Mike Williams will have his touches as well. So I'd be what.
So he had a 30-point quarterback and a 46-point quarterback on the bench for the Manchester Spinners. Dobbins on the bench.
That's what you get for having 2 quarterbacks on your bench.
Wicks and Crab. The nice Packers at the bottom, though. On the other side,
you could go well. Crazy there, couldn't you? You could go back crazy.
Steele and drop Steele.
Draft in Wicks all in there. Yeah, Steele's all Steele done was he's still fab.
Hill, Chandler, Allen, Cooks, Lockett on the bench. Obviously lost Watson. But no, it's a good win. It's a good, like I say, it's a good choice not playing Steele, but the players you had played, you didn't have to play them. Another one for the.
Oh, that's it. That's it.
So he had 267 points, and he had Richardson.
What Richardson?
So what the hell is it? You had Henry, Jones, Kirk, London, Evans, Fryermuth, Singletree did nothing, Mason, Sirline. Oh, there you go. Anderson, 43 points as a defender.
Yeah,
One
he went nuts
interception,
this week.
16 tackles and one pass deflection. He just went nuts, man. He's got Daniel on the bench
brought
as well.
him in. I brought him in this week to an IDP league that I'm in. I'm in an IDP dynasty league, and he was sitting on agency, and I brought him in this week and plugged him straight into the starting lineup. Still lost, like I was the fourth highest scorer this week and lost, but it was nice to see him go like that. Is that Tiny
left
Kill
on the bench,
Darcy?
I know, and Shahid.
That's a big move.
So he has 260 points with Hill on the bench. It's a very good move. Like to get that plus he's probably your first round pick on the bench.
Yeah, not kill knockouts. I mean, I think it shows a lot of balls to do that, because if Hill goes off in one and you lose the game, then we're sitting here going, "What the fuck did you do?" So it's very much. I think that's a massive decision to make, and very much paid off.
The Bluetoon Texans getting their first win. We did say they were going to be close, but they had some high scoring games. So Joe Burrow, Kieran Williams,
it was always going to come.
Judy. Oh, definitely. And that's where Brewer's only getting 8 points. He had a bad drop as well when he's got 20 yards.
So that was a 20 yards, Johnny. That was a touchdown. He was going.
I was watching it in the corner of my eye, but it was not a hard catch. Put it that way. You got Berkey Irvin on the bench.
Bowers is only going to get better as the season goes on. No, he really is. Bowers will be just fine. I love Bowers and I love him for this year as well as more so for dynasty, obviously, but I love him for this year. Great win for Michael, and as you say, the team's solid. I don't see any holes in it. It's only way is up for Michael, And at the end of the day,
8th for 1 win, so.
And he's only 2 wins behind he's only 2 wins behind top, so nothing to worry about. And I can see Michael moving up that table sooner rather than later. Who's he got this week?
Well, he scored 822 points. Apart from Gloucester Bull Park, he would be sitting in second.
That is more than 200 a week. So that is not to be sniffed at.
Well, he's up against the Cork Red Army, so I'm guessing he's got a few players on a bye week because the projection's not great. The Bangor Sharks are up against the Q Kings, so we've got 2-2 against 3-1 Laggers, well against Hoover Patriots. We've got Gloucester Wolfpack against the Assassins. Birmingham Bears coming up against the Rainy Cardinals, and you've got knockouts coming up against the Manchester Spinners. So.
Yeah, you got the Birmingham Bears against the Rainy Cardinals there, the 2-3-1 teams, yeah. two to 3-1 teams playing each other. So big game for the winner of that puts himself in a very good position, and it's ensuring that one that's right up behind them, alongside them, is going backwards. So that can only ever be a good thing as well.
I know it's basically top of the table. Big game there. 1 and 2.
Birmingham Bears and Rainy Cardinals, massive game.
Well, Rainy Cardinals will have not got Montgomery's bye, Ridley's on a bye,
Williams
on a bye,
Williams bye.
Who's he got? That's he's got Charbonnet,
who's pointless now.
Yeah.
He's still getting his catches. Charbonnet for me, it's.
He still scored 13 points last week, which is better than nothing on the bench. So.
It's better than nothing, obviously, and that's who's going in. You might have to chuck Downs in there as well and hope that.
And he's playing the Giants this week,
playing or Richardson works it out.
I know, so that's the week done.
So there we go, Johnny. Week 4 in the bag already. We're a month through. We have had 4 weeks worth of play, and as I said at the start, it's all the bye weeks kick into play now. There's a lot of injuries out there now. Bye weeks kick into play. We're going to see some own teams on 0 or 1 win. They're going to start charging, and we're going to see some teams that are sitting up there on 4 wins or 3 wins that are going to start finding trouble because of the bye weeks don't come at the right time. They've got a few injuries, and No one's won anything, no one's lost anything as at this stage of the season. I would say it's a long way for some of those 0-4s.
I'm just hanging on at the moment for my players to come back. That's all I would do. Just
I'm
scrapping away. Just scrapping my way through the bikes.
I mean, that's for me. I'm just I'm waiting for players to kind of kick in. You know, I had 1 week where they done what I thought they would do every week, and I scored 250 odd points and got my win. And then I've had 3 weeks where they've just not done it. You know, and Jefferson and Chase sitting at wide receiver, and I still can't seem to find kind of 160 points. So it is a bit worrying, but I'm not giving up on it yet. I think I'm going to get a week 5 win, bounce back, and then the chase is on.
Cool. Well, thank you for who did watch it. We had 3 on at one point, but yeah, we're back down to 0 coming out. It's probably at work. And we'll see you all next week. Thank you for coming on again, Craig. I'll see you on Thursday.
No worries, Johnny. It's been a pleasure, and good luck everyone this weekend. I hope your teams go well.
Oh no, you want Doug to win this week?
No, we want Doug this week. We want Doug this week. Except Martin.
Yes, we do want you to win this week, Doug. So good luck, Doug. It's the only time. So good luck.